Good afternoon. I would like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Innu, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Carrie Linklater. I am the chairperson this afternoon, and I am joined via Zoom by Mr. Bill Moretsky and Mr. Richard Whitbread, both panel members, and our city assessor this afternoon is Mr. Arka Adarkanov, and our hearing secretary is Mr. Stephen Lunn. We'll be hearing applications for revision of the business assessment role in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act and the City of Winnipeg Charter. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The board is appointed annually by City Council and is independent of it and the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing, and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. And as information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. This afternoon, we will be hearing items 1 through 9 on the docket. And Mr. Lunn, if you could please affirm the assessor and the applicant's testimony.
Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
Arka Adarkanov.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Sid Story.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Story and Mr. Adarkanov.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Adarkanov, whenever you are ready, we will go to the first item on the docket, which is 1700 Waverly Street, Unit A.
So, file number 224020. Applicant Fair Tax Realty Advocates. Roll year 2023. Address Unit A, 1700 Waverly Street. Business Assessment ID 34317. Owners Waverly Christ Dutch Jeep Ram Limited. This is the business assessment appeal, and what we're dealing with is a premise area of 36,740 square feet, with base ARV of $14.31 per square foot, with applicable occupancy cost, which total to $83,758, and base ARV of $525,749. Total annual rental value rounded arrives to be $609,480. And the recommendation is to confirm the 2023 annual rental value of $609,480. Yes, pages 2 to provide aerial view of subject property. So it's a Waverly Auto Mall, and subject property is a car dealership. So on page 3, we have what the city is using as comparable evidence to support the rent for properties such as new vehicle dealerships, and for them because of the complexity and lack of rental evidence for the vehicle dealerships, it is the next best option is to use retail outlets, and that's what is provided on page 3. So what we have is comparable list consisting of 28 comparables. All of them are retail outlets within the city, different areas. However, what we have here is we have average and median rates of around $18 per square foot. And then on following pages, they don't have numbers, but they're page 4 and 5 is a board of revision order. So subject property has been heard at the realty level, and you can see there that the order actually has been decreased on a realty level, and you'll probably later see on applicant's evidence that the rate used was $12.50 by the decision on the realty level. However, why I am seeking to support the annual rental value of $609,480 using a rate of $14.31 per square foot is because after speaking with the area coordinator, it is my understanding that this realty decision has been appealed to the municipal board. So that is why I'm seeking the confirmation at this time. That's all I have, and I'm open to your questions.
All right, okay, thank you. Mr. Story, did you have any questions?
I do. More for clarification. I'm having a little trouble hearing the assessor, but I'll just ask the questions if that's okay. You're acknowledging that the Board of Revision has made a realty decision on this property. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the amount that the Board of Revision on this property, or had determined this property to be, was $12.50 in market rent. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the original assessment from the city was at $14.30. Is that correct?
Yes. $14.31.
$14.31. Okay, I just rounded. And the justification, we're all familiar with the difficulty in assigning a market rent to dealerships because they're essentially all owner operated, because there's perceived to be too much risk in the marketplace to have typical developers building and leasing to car dealerships. Is that your understanding?
I am not here. I guess like the reason why it's not leased, I cannot I don't have any opinion on the matter. But the fact is that most of the dealerships are owner occupied in the city.
Yes. And you've used $14.30. Do you use the same 28 comps that have been used in the majority of the car dealerships this year?
Yes, I am.
Do you use those comps?
Yes.
Believe in those comps?
Excuse me?
Do you believe those comps to be reasonable comparables for an auto dealership in the city of Winnipeg?
Well, yes.
2023 reference.
Yeah, we have 28 comparables, and they are retail outlets, right? So what we have is
I'm sorry, go a little bit slower. I can't hear you.
okay. What we have is 28 comparables that,
Yes.
And those are retail outlets for the most part. So what we are dealing is we have big box stores like Best Buy, Staples, in the mix, right? And other larger retail outlets.
Mhm.
So, like those are the next best comparable to compare with the vehicle dealerships, because vehicle dealerships are also, in a sense, closest in a way of being more of a retail, right? So customers go there, customers shop for the vehicle, so they have display areas, they have sales areas. So that is why I guess this would be the best comparables to use, right? Like, unlike
You chose not to use vehicle service and whatnot, you just use the big box retail. Is that correct?
yes, that's correct.
And if we look at your, I don't even know if it's in evidence. Are your 18 comparables in evidence? Are your 28 comparables, sorry. Are your 28 comparables to support your market rent? Oh, they are, yeah. They're in evidence. So just very quickly, I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying with respect to not looking at vehicle-related tendencies, but rather big box retail. When I even question that which of 28 you've used are even big box retail. And I say that because there are 10 of the 28 that are used in your brief as comparables are under 15,000 square feet. They're much too small to be a full, complete car dealership, which the subject is. And they're 10 of the 18 are under 15,000 square feet. So one would even question if it is a big box retail, would qualify by definition.
Well, let's
yeah.
put it. I hear what you said, and I'll answer it right away. It's absolutely, like those address the 28 comparables presented address the wide spectrum. Like obviously, subject property is a large dealership. I believe it was like 30, basically 37,000 square feet, right?
Yes, correct.
And do we have evidence like that? When you look at it, absolutely. You can look at comparable number 19, right? We have 36, very similar, right? Sized property. Then we have comparable number 14.
Do you know? Excuse me. I'm sorry. Do you know what 817 St. James Street is? What location?
What number is that? 817.
817 in your brief, in your market rents.
Yeah, which comp number is it?
16.
Comp 16. That Pier 1 imports, right?
Okay.
So it's a 10,000 square foot property. It's
And then
smaller than
I looked at the wrong line. And then 710, which is Hudson's Bay. Is that correct?
710 Hudson's Bay, yeah.
Yeah. And it's 34,000 square feet.
Yes.
But it's two-story, correct?
Let me just. Some of them are two-story, some of them are one-story. That is correct.
I'm talking about this 34,000 square feet. It's split over 2 floors. Do you agree?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Do you know what comp number 3 is?
Okay, grab my ruler. Okay, it's a small print. Yeah, it's comp 3 is actually what we have a flying squirrel sport. So it is an entertainment unit, right? So people go there to jump around, I guess.
Well, it's purportedly the world's largest trampoline park, purported by the owner.
Well, perhaps
it's a
yes.
Trampoline park. It's where people go, usually kids, to bounce on a trampoline.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
And what we have there.
Do you still maintain that that's comparable to a car dealership?
Actually, this one is probably on the lower end, and you can see the rent on it as well, right? It's on the lower end of the rent. It's $12.90 per square foot, and the building is, of course, inferior. Like that building on 1250 St. James is inferior to most of the comparables here, as well as the subject property.
But it is used as a comparable.
It is on the list, yes.
How about 1301 Kenniston? Is that a retail?
Okay, 1301 Kenniston. If you would go with the comp number, it would be easier to find for me. But
okay,
which
number 1, 1301 Kenniston.
Okay, Okay, so Good Life Fitness.
Good Life Fitness, that was a build to suit. They built it to their own specifications.
No, absolutely, yeah, that is a gym, right? So
They don't sell
there's-
cars, do they? at Good Life.
Well, they they actually outside gym membership they do not sell anything, right? So they do not sell products or well, actually, I take it wrong. Probably they do. Typically, gyms they do have a small store where they do sell some stuff, but that's not the primary business.
Yeah, they don't sell cars. I think we can agree on that.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Probably, as far as cars goes, none of the comparables sell cars, right? That we would consider
No, that's
vehicles.
correct. None of them do. Okay. Now, something very interesting. I'm flipping over this and go through it quickly because it's pretty straightforward. We had a hearing yesterday on a Kia dealership in the north end of the city. We had the same list of comps, but the assessor though chose to use 1430 as the market rent. And when we asked him why, he indicated because the 1857, which is the median, is 1850. 1857.
Mr. Stark.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you right now because that was a hearing that none of us were in. So if you could not a
Yeah.
previous hearing, I thank you.
Okay, all right. So interestingly enough, looking at your data, you have 18 properties that none are in the automotive industry. Some are fitness, there's 3 fitness, I believe. 15 of the 28 are in the Polo Park retail area. So it's a very, it's our best retail in Winnipeg is around Polo Park, reportedly. The city has a median of $18.27 a square foot. But you don't use 1827. Why not? That's the median. If the city believes that that's the comp or those are comparables, why do they discount it back to $14?
Well, again, why not all of those properties on the list are $18, right? Why not? Why actual rents are different, even on the properties on the list? So we have medians, yes, we have averages. Why? Like that would probably be my question. So answer and the question. So the answer would be like that. Because rates vary, and slapping a medium or average rate across the board, is that fair? No, it's not. So we have to adjust for things, adjust for locations, adjust for size, and that's what model does. It does adjust it. And is subject properties rent of $14.31? Is it higher than a median or lower than a median? It's lower than a median. And why would it be lower than a median? It's larger property. Perhaps that's what the model adjusts for. But it's also accounts that it's subject property also has not a pure retail space, right? It does have areas that has vehicle service garages. That's where the model downgrades it a bit. That's my understanding of it. So I hope I answered your question.
Well, what's confusing to myself is we attended these hearings where the assessor will say that this is model driven. Now I look at what you've provided, the 28 comps, nothing bears any resemblance to an auto dealership. Nothing, zero. So what's the model that's used to determine the model rent? But then it's discounted from 18 down to 14 in any case. What's the justification for that? I'm just confused by it.
Well, again, model is based on its rents because I cannot speak to 100% to the model, what exactly goes in the model here. All I'm here to support is the rent is $14.31 per square foot supported rent in the market.
It's below
And
the market.
What?
Below rent. It's below the rent in the market. The median is 18.
Well, the median is 18, right? Like, but it should everything be aligned with the median, right? No, like there is more calculations involved in real life, and you probably know it as well, right?
Yeah.
Adjustments made and so on for a full appraisal report when you do that. So, like, basically relying on the median, probably not the.
And you understand that car dealerships have some areas that are, we'll call them dirty, service, maintenance, oil changes, et cetera, et cetera. And then they'll have some that are pristine, very clean, putting on a good show. They have the Mercedes and the new dealerships all have cappuccino bars and whatnot.
No,
And
absolutely.
those two rates, they should be at two different rates. Do you agree with that?
Well, that's one way to look at it, and perhaps that's one way to, I guess, to skin this cat, is to provide a rate for the clean area and the rate for the service area.
Yes.
Or the rate for the dirty area, as you call it.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, does 1431 address that issue? 1431 per square foot. Would that address the issue of having clean area and the service area? Because all of those buildings here also have clean area and service area on the comparables. Retail stores too, right? They have a storage area in the back, which we would call a dirty area, and they have a clean area, display area, where customers go and shop. Would the dealership have more of a dirty area? Probably. And that's where probably the difference is. That's why it's below the median. And that's why I think 1431 is supported.
There are also in your list of comps, there are 5 comps in Sterling Lion, which is the fact that the fashion outlet on Sterling Lion. You conceded that there is a dirty part and a clean part. They also call it front and back of the house. And the back of the house is the stuff you don't see, where the guy's taking off the nut to let the oil drain out, versus the front end where the beautiful cars are sitting. Do you make any split in your analysis between the dirty and the?
Well, it is my understanding that the model does capture it just because it is registered as a car dealership. So there is some ratio going into that, yes.
Would you, if I said to you that the dealers, when they first contemplate building a dealership, and they look at a 60-40 ratio, where 60% is the back of the house, that's the service, parts, collision, things of that nature. Does that sound reasonable to you for modeling?
I mean, honestly, like there is a ratio. I didn't study the minutiae, the details of it, whether it's 60-40, 50-50, or whatever else. I'm sure.
Does that seem reasonable to you, 50-50?
As I said, I don't think I can answer the question. I did not do the calculations on it.
Yeah, okay. All right. I have an analysis of the comparables, but I don't think it's necessary to go through each one, but I do have each one here. And I won't speak it for now. So those are my questions.
All right, I thank you, Mr. Story. Mr. Moretsky, did you have any questions for the assessor?
Yes, so you're not sure what criteria the model used? Did I hear you correctly?
Well, what do you mean about criteria as the model used? The model used $14.31 per square foot.
No, okay, what criteria did it use to come up with that number?
Oh, I don't know the details of the model now.
Okay. So why, can you tell me why you think it's reasonable to use these retail properties as a comparison to determine the accuracy of what the model had generated?
Right. So basically, the reason why we use retail properties such as this, and this has been going on for, I guess, in the city for a while, is because there is no rates available that would accurately represent the market rate for the car dealerships. They're all owner occupied for the most part. Or if there is a rent, it's usually some sort of associated business rents. And then, so what is the next best thing, right? Like subject property, car dealership, they are, they're retail in nature. They sell vehicles, so they have display areas, they have showrooms, they have sales areas. Customers go in there to shop for the vehicles. And that is why the next best would be retail stores, right? So large retail stores that are available. So would a building be specific, like they're in a similar nature, they sell things, people go there to shop, and also you can argue to the point that because of the setup of the building, perhaps they like with the those buildings can be comparable because of the retail nature as well as the overall design. Like they're open buildings, they're nicely finished inside for the customers, for the customer appeal and so on.
Okay, and here, my last question, I guess it was the applicant, or maybe you did first, but you brought up dirty part, clean part. So, would you agree that the clean part would be the retail portion up front, correct?
Well, for the dealerships, absolutely, yes.
So, the dirty part where the cars are serviced, would that rental value be more than the retail part?
Well, absolutely not more. So the dirty part would typically rent for less. And that is why what we have in the mix is when retail prices overall are like, even on my comparable sheet, we have average of $18, right? So we have rents well over $20 on the list there. And when we look at subject property, the rent is $14. So that is accounting the difference already.
Okay, it strikes me as the opposite of what I would have thought, because with that vehicle service garages in the past, and they've always been high rented. Is that, do I get that observation correct?
Well, they are not, what I mean is they are not cheap. Like there is a rent involved. Obviously, there is a price involved. And when you look at, let's say, it's been presented in the previous hearings and the comparable list, for example, for auto dealerships, when you look at like Fountain Tires, for example, I believe, I'm just speaking out of memory right now, I believe that rent is closer to $20 per square foot. But then when you look at your lower grade car dealership, vehicle repair garages, those rents could be like around 10, 12, up to $15 per square foot, right? Okay. But we are talking about small garages, like 2 to 4,000 square foot small garages, right, with like maybe 1 or 2 hoists, and they are basically 100% dirty. Maybe maybe small office area where a customer walks in, but so those would fall in line more like into the used car dealers, right? Like new car dealers, such as subject property, well, they have image to upkeep, they have to report to, I guess, to whatever make and model they sell. They have to account for those standards, right?
Okay, thank you very much for clarifying those questions. Appreciate it. No further questions, Madam Chair.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Madam Chair, may I have a quick follow-up on that?
We'll just finish with the panel members first, Mr. Story. Thank you.
Okay.
Wait, Red, did you have any questions? Oh, and you're muted. No, you're muted.
Yeah, I understand. I have a few things I'd like to clarify. So, number one, car dealership of this size, 37,000 square foot almost, is a complex business. It could consist of sales, new and used. It could consist of parts, services, servicing, auto detailing, storage. There could be support facilities for staff in the building. Would you agree that's the case in a place this size, sir?
Well, it's typical, right? So, and I obviously like it may have well, obviously it has a new car sales component to it. They also have probably some used vehicles on the lot that they sell, but however, it doesn't those areas are not separate from the new car dealerships. Usually they sell it from in the same area, most from what I've seen. And I guess, yes, there is some support areas, right? Like just like in any other business, right? Like if you look at the comparables that I have provided, for example.
Well, let me wait, please. I'll get to that in a moment. But let's agree. A building this size, a business this size, can be a very complex outfit with a number of different departments. Can you agree to that? Can you agree to that?
Yeah.
Yes. So your comparables, you testified that none of your comparables sell cars. Do any of your comparables service automobiles or vehicles?
No.
Okay, thank you. When I look at specifically numbers 14, 17, and 19, you see them? They're the only three that are above 30,000 square feet. Can you tell me what each of those businesses do? Briefly and simply.
Okay, so all of them are retail outlets.
Yes, just deal with them one by one, please. 14 first.
Okay, so 14 used to be like the tenant. It's a 2000. First of all, let's clarify. 2015 is 2015 lease. It's a Sears Canada Inc. So it's a retail outlet dealing with retail things.
So excuse me if I can interrupt. So product comes into the store, it's displayed, and customers buy it. Is that true?
Correct.
There is no service department. There is no parts department, no tire department. It's a product in and a product out, correct?
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
Even with Sears, like they may have had some sort of thing there, but I would discount it and say they basically did retail for the most part.
Number 17.
That's Hudson Bay's home. So again, product comes in.
Hudson Bay retail store?
Yes.
At Polo Park?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. I understand what that is. That's as Mr. Story indicated, it's a two-story retail place. Stuff comes in, stuff goes out.
Correct.
Okay, and the last one, number 19.
That's Best Buy.
Sorry, Best Buy?
Yeah.
Okay, so very similar. Product comes back into the warehouse, it comes out onto the floor, customer walks in the door, they buy it, and it goes out the front door. Correct?
For the most part, yeah. Like would let's say Best Buy have a small okay, I'll just skip it. Yeah, products comes in, product comes out. Okay.
Yeah, they may service a computer, but it's a small department in the back of the store usually. Okay, yeah. So number 4 question for you. When I look at 500 Sterling Lion Parkway, you have 5 comparables. Mr. Story touched on them, but I wonder if you could just give us a bit more detail. Just quickly run through Those five, number 9, 24, 25, 26, and 28. And just tell us what they are.
Okay, so number 9 is FRX Riders.
Say that again, sir.
FXR Riders.
What is that?
Good question. Actually, I'm not quite sure exactly what it is.
Okay. Next one. 24.
24 River City Sports.
A sports retail outlet.
It looks like it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Number 25.
Okay, that's okay, 25. Structure Furniture.
Number 26.
That's a Dollarama.
I'll say that again, sir.
A Dollarama.
What is that?
Dollarama.
Dollar store.
Dollarama.
Okay, thank you. And number 28.
Okay, that's Buclair Inc. So Buclair
Sorry?
Home. Buclair Home.
Okay. Okay, so none of these have anything to do with the automobile industry.
Yeah.
Thank you
Except
very much.
for none of them, yeah.
I have no further questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I would just like to clarify, Mr. Adarkanov, that you said that this is, the city is taking this to the Muni Board, correct?
Yeah, that's what has been communicated to me.
All right, I thank you. And Mr. Story, you had a question?
Yes, just to follow up to your last question though, the indications are that the city is taking this to the municipal board. Are we talking about today's hearing or these properties from the retail?
I'm talking about the
business?
realty appeal of 1700 Waverly Street, Unit A.
The realty appeal.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then one other thing, and I think you said it was high, but I'm not sure, but we don't necessarily disagree with the city on the idea of going to retail, but not big box. It's not appropriate. When they have a category called vehicle related, which is very, very conducive to automobile repair and maintenance and display. And you mentioned that Fountain Tire was commanded a high rent, I believe. It's actually $13 on a 218 lease, and it's vehicle related. So it's not it's you $5.
No, depends which Fountain Tire you're talking about, right? Some of them are actually. I cannot speak to, I know some of them are pure net rents. Other ones have associated companies renting. So you gotta look at it, and I didn't prepare any.
Their address is 123 Fort. That's close to where we're sitting, actually.
Mr. Story, do you have a question? Because you're just.
That was a question, and he answered it, so thank you. No, that's fine, thanks.
Madam Chair, may I just make one point on my questioning?
Yes, go ahead.
Given rent seems to be the issue on all of the properties today, is it acceptable that my questions asked in number 1 would flow through to all of the other properties where it's appropriate? I don't have to repeat them every time?
No, that would be fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
We look forward to that. Thank you.
And Mr. Story, if you would like to proceed with your briefing.
Okay. I'll go off the schedule a little bit and expedite this. Madam Chair, board members, what we're looking at is the now this is interesting. On B, Unit 17, Unit B 1700, there was no adjustment at the Board of Revision in the annual rental value. So I would ask that number B be confirmed.
Excuse me? We're on
Unit B 1700.
Okay, we are, Mr. Story, we're on unit A?
Oh, I thought we finished. Okay.
No. No, we're on 1700 Waverly, unit A.
Unit A, yes. Okay. Sheets. Sorry, way too much paper. Thank you. If we just go to page 1 of our brief, we have the ARV determined by the board, or by the assessor at $609,480. The details are here. If we flip to page 2, you'll see the assessor's position is that the original assessment should be the assessment should be $14.30 a square foot. The board of revision accepted $12.50, although I understand you don't know exactly what their evidence on, but $12.50 was accepted. The difference between $14.30 and $12.50 is the $609,000 and drops to $543,000. So the reason we're asking for the adjustment is because we believe that the market rent as determined in the retail is $12.50 a square foot, as it's shown in page 2. Page 3 is the decision, and you can see that the decision that the board dropped the $7,339,000 retail to $5,263,000, and that was done using 12.5%, as were all of the dealerships of this owner, which is Mr. Gochi. So we ask on this property to follow the decision of the Board of Revision and determine an ARV of 543,008. With all the conversation and the questions, I agree should be just carried forward. The issue is really the market rent in the ARV. And we think it has to be adjusted to what the board agreed before in the hearing. And that's really all I have to say on the matter.
All right, I thank you. Mr. Darkanoff, did you have questions for Mr. Story?
No, I don't have any questions.
Thank you. Mr. Moratsky?
No, I do not have any questions. Thank you.
You and Mr. Whitbread.
So, Mr. Story, you're just counting on the realty assessment value. You've not provided any comparables. That is your sole point of evidence then.
That is correct, yes, sir.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
And I have no questions. Does either party have a wish for a summation?
I'm okay, thank you.
And I can maybe do a one sentence summation if you don't mind. The position we use with the retail is we looked at the last number of dealerships that have been built in Winnipeg, and they don't have tire storage. Some do in the older ones, but lately they're not. So we determined that the front of the house and the back of the house, or the dirty and the clean, works out in essence to 50-50. And so we've used that. We've used $15 as a reasonable retail rate, and that's supported by the assessor's $14. And we've used $10, which would be a industrial rate for an industrial warehouse. Blended them together and comes to $12.50. That's what we've used in all of Dilawri, all of Gautier, and we believe it's a reasonable approach. There's nothing wrong with the city trying to look at other comparables, but they have right in front of them the vehicle related. And those are buildings that are built and used for auto services. And should, in our view, should have been used for the comparables as opposed to big box retail. That's my position. Thank you.
All right, I thank you. We will move on to 1700 Waverly Street, Unit B. Mr. Darkanoff, whenever you are ready, you could proceed.
Okay, so file number 224023. Applicant Fair Tax Realty Advocates, roll year 2023, address Unit B 1700 Waverly Street, business assessment ID 919, so 919. Business name is yes, Crown Acura, and owners are Anika Holdings Inc. Total annual rental value $247,260. This is based on $15.35 of base ARV and a premise area of 13,955 square feet. Other than that, it's.
May I interrupt for just a moment? I'm not sure. I couldn't hear very well. I'm not sure I've got the. Are we doing 224027 Unit C?
No, we're doing Unit B.
Okay, I'm sorry. Look, I couldn't hear, sir.
That's fine. Would like to carry on, Mr. Darkanoff, please.
Yeah, I'm good. I've got it. Thank you.
So other than that, it's I'm using same comparables as before, and when Board of Revision order is on the last 2 pages, and in this case, Board of Revision Realty Appeal has been confirmed, and I am also seeking confirmation of annual rental value of $247,260. That's all I have. Thanks.
I thank you. Mr. Story, did you have any questions?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Moretsky?
The me a moment here. So this one's quite a bit smaller than the Unit A dealership, correct?
Correct.
Is that why there's a little bit higher in the rent, a dollar something?
Yeah. Most likely economy of scale, yes.
Economy of scale issue. Okay, thank you. No further questions. Thank you.
Mr. Whitbread?
I have none, thank you.
I also have no questions. Mr. Story, if you would like to proceed with your brief.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Chair. The this particular property is 13,955 square feet. At one time when these were built, which was, believe it or not, 2003 and 2005, the units on 1700 Waverly were built. There are different demands in those days. Right now, a dealership of this size, 13,955, is very, very difficult to find a tenant for, and they typically become used car dealerships as opposed to new cars. Again, the assessor has used 1534 a square foot. We've used 1250 at the Board of Revision. We believe 1250 is reasonable, using $15 a square foot, 50% for the clean space or the retail space, and $10 for the industrial space for 50%. Blended is $12.50. That's our position. Should be $12.50 a square foot. When we add that to the cost to occupy of $33,000, you have an ARV of $207,512 as opposed to $247,284, and I submit that the 12.5 is a reasonable representation of the market rent. Thank you.
I thank you. Mr. Darkanoff, did you have questions?
Yes. So, Mr. Applicant, do you? I said, do you have? I guess you haven't presented any evidence to support your any comparable evidence, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay. And
I will say that we did in the last 2 weeks or so, we've done about 15 of these car dealerships, so we have the benefit of comparing.
And just to confirm,
But I don't have to.
yeah, no, but you didn't for this particular hearing, you didn't present any evidence. Is that correct?
No, that's great.
Yeah. And yes, yeah, the board of revision on the realty side was confirmed. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
And the realty appeal for the same property was confirmed. Is that correct?
Just one moment. Yes, that's correct.
And you didn't appeal you didn't appeal to the municipal board. Is that correct?
We're going to.
Huh?
We haven't yet, but we're going to.
Oh, you still have time to do it, do you?
Are you
Or is
talking
it-
about today's hearing or no? You're talking about previous?
The realty.
Oh, I don't know if we did, if we
Yeah.
appealed the realty.
Okay, that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Moratsky?
I have no questions, thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Whitbread?
I have none, thank you.
I also have no questions. Does either party have a wish for a summation on this property?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I have a quick summation. Is that so those properties we're dealing with today are new car dealerships, and it is like as the applicant have stated, and the city as well. Like so, those properties are basically they have clean part, dirty part, and what we have is we have comparables to be used, like applicant mentions that we have comparables like vehicle related, but they're not quite like Fountain Tire, for example, but they're not true comparables. They do not sell cars there. They're small. There is a very small customer areas for the most part. So like that's why city is using retail outlets like this, like we have here, and also just to mention that the clean and parts section are accounted in the rents for the most part in the car dealerships using the retail comparables that similar in a way what the applicant presented, where they're using 15 and 10, but there is no support to that. They did not provide any evidence to the point to prove that 15 is what is accurate or 10 is what is supported for their position. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Story, did you have any wish for a summation?
No, I'm fine. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Okay, we will move on to 1700 Waverly Street, Unit C. Mr. Darkanoff, the floor is yours.
All right. We'll start out like so. It's a file number 22-4027. Applicant is Fairtax Realty Advocates. Roll year 2023. Address Unit C, 1700 Waverly Street. Business assessment ID 34159. Business name is Automax DMAX and owners Deal 5 Ltd partnership. So what we are dealing with is annual rental value of $276,300. This is based on $15.23 per square foot on a premise area of 15,743 square feet. It's an owner occupied. I guess the recommendation is to confirm the 2023 annual rental value. Again, following two pages are identically the same, using the same comparables, except for, I guess, the pictures. Like pictures are related to subject property. That's what I meant. Like same, like following is the next page number towards a picture of subject property. So what we're dealing with Automax dealership. So it's the VCD comparables are the same. And the last two pages are the real Board of Revision orders on the realty of subject property. And I just want to draw the board's attention, panel's attention that there is a reduction in assessment, but it only reflected in a cap rate. So our net operating income presented was confirmed by the board back then, and that is why I seek the confirmation of the annual rental value using the rate of 15.23 per square foot. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Story, did you have any questions?
Yes, quick question. It's not that I don't know, I couldn't understand. What did you say with respect to the cap rate?
Oh, so realty appeal for for this property, there was a reduction, but the reduction was addressed in the cap rate side, and net operating income was confirmed the way it is, right? So net operating income presented by the assessment and taxation department. So I'll just read it out. So that the assessment value of the subject property be revised by the decrease in the total 2023 realty assessment to bring in line with the market value based on net operating income presented by the assessment and taxation department with a capitalization rate of 7.25. So the basically realty side didn't when that hearing took place, the rent per square foot was still, they confirmed the rate per square foot of 15.23.
Thank you. That's all my questions.
Thank you. Mr. Moratsky?
Can you go 15.23 you said was the rent per square foot on the realty order?
Yes.
Okay, and you're just giving us that information verbally right now?
Yes. Well, the information is actually on page I guess it doesn't have a number, but it's page 4 because it comes after page 3, and it's as a panel. It actually states right there in the Board of Revision order. The panel hereby orders as follows, right? And it says net operating income presented by the assessment and taxation department.
On page 4.
Yes. So closer to the bottom of the page, where the orders are. The panel hereby orders as follows, right?
No. So where does it say the square foot number?
Oh, it doesn't. It just says that net operating income presented by assessment and taxation department.
Okay, so then you're verbally giving us the information for the rental of $15.23?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Whit. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Moratsky. Mr. Whit.
Further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, did you have any questions, Mr. Whitbread?
I don't have any, thank you.
Thank you. Just one quick question, Mr. Darkanoff, is this being taken to the Muni Board?
I can't say for sure. I don't. I believe because it was confirmed, there is no reason to take it. Actually, I'm sorry. I got mixed up. So this one was not confirmed. So my information that yes, it has been taken to the municipal board.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Story, if you'd like to proceed with your brief, please.
And we're unit C, correct?
Yes.
Unit C. Okay, same thing. It's 1523 is used by the assessor. We at the Board of Revision we used 1250 and received a reduction. So we're suggesting that the market rent, and then it's an equity argument as well, that the 1250 seems to prevail. But we believe that the ARV should reduce from 233,328 to 276,307. And that is supported with our hypothesis of 50% of the space to be the better finish, more expensive finish, and 50% to be industrial finish. Merged together is $15 on the retail, 10 on the industrial, for an average of $12.50, which we believe is reasonable. And that's our evidence. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Darkinoff, questions?
Again, a couple of questions. Mr. Story, again, you didn't provide any evidence to support your position on $15 per square foot for the clean space and $10 for the service space. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. And yeah, no, those are all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Boretsky?
Yes, maybe I should have asked this question a couple of briefs ago. Your $12.50 reduced assessment that you're using. So that was based on a different property, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, not this property. This property was assessed, confirmed at 1523 at Realty. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
So you're just holding that one property, Unit A, to apply to all these other dealerships. So
No, we have I believe it's 15 or 16 that we've done at 1150 or by 1250. Sorry, 1250. Not just one dealership. It's worked out. 12 works out 12. And
well, the ones we've looked at so far.
Yeah, yes.
The order for Unit A, correct? That was as your basis.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what we're going to do with the other ones because I haven't seen them yet. So.
Okay.
So, where is your evidence for that 1250? Are you just verbal evidence? Are you telling us that's what the order said?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it was the workup for the realty.
Okay, but you didn't provide that workup, correct?
No, we did not.
So you're asking us to take your word for it that it was 1250.
Yes.
Okay. No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Whitbread?
I have none, thank you.
I also have a question. Does either party have a wish for a summation on this property?
I guess just a quick summation that again, clean and I guess dirty parts of the dealerships. Obviously, that is the case with the vehicle dealerships, and however, in my opinion, even the clean part, that evidence that applicant is using $15 and does not support the clean part median or anything like that in the comparables of the retail spots. That's what they are also referring to, in my opinion. So if more accurate numbers should have been used, at least they should have at least used the higher values for the clean part, and I can just speak to the thing that $10 for the dirty part is also low ball on it big time. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
I thank you. Mr. Story?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Thank you. I think, Mr. Story, your items have been heard.
Yeah.
And I thank you for your briefs and your time this afternoon.
And I thank you and the board. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Story.
See you later. Bye now.
Bye-bye. And at this time, I think we're just going to take a brief 5-minute recess. And I would like to call this meeting back to order. And Mr. Lund, if you could swear in Mr. Navarro.
Please state your full name.
Marcelo Navarro.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome, Mr. Navarro.
Thank you.
And Mr. Darkanoff. We are going to proceed to 1700 Waverly Street, Unit C2.
C2. Before we begin, I just looked at some applicant's evidence. Is applicant still seeking confirmation on this one?
Yeah.
All right, I'll just read it in then. And file number 224580. Applicant Altos Group Limited, roll year 2023, address C2 1700 Waverly Street, business assessment ID 37586. Murray Hyundai is the business name, and the Murray Import Auto Group Winnipeg Limited are the owners. Annual rental value $438,360. We're seeking confirmation of that value. Otherwise, evidence and the Board of Revision orders are presented in my documents. That's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Navarro.
I have no questions.
And Mr. Moransky.
I have no questions. Thank you.
And Mr. Whitbread.
I have none, thank you.
I also have none. And Mr. Navarro, if you would like to proceed.
We are asking for confirmation.
I thank you. And Mr. Darkanoff, did you have questions on this confirmation request?
No, I don't. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Moransky
No questions. Thank you.
and Mr. Whitbread.
No, I have none.
I also have none. We will then proceed to item number 5, 1700 Waverly Street, Unit D.
I believe this is the similar situation as the previous one. Is that correct, Mr. Navarro?
That's correct.
Okay. So file number 224583, roll year 2023, Unit D 1700 Waverly Street, business assessment ID 28538, business name Murray Chevrolet Limited Partnership, and the owners of Murray Auto Group Limited Winnipeg. Annual rental value $1,023,360. And I recommend my recommendation is to confirm this value, and my evidence and Board of Revision order are presented in the following pages. That's all I have. Thanks.
I thank you. Mr. Navarro,
And
questions?
we're asking for confirmation.
Okay, I thank you. Mr. Moransky, did you have any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
And Mr. Whitbread?
And no, I don't, thanks.
And I also have no questions. We will then move on to item number 6, which is 222 Pembina Highway. Mr. Darkanoff, whenever you are ready.
All right. So file number 224576, applicant Altos Group Limited, roll year 2023, address 222 Pembina Highway, business assessment ID 53588, business name Murray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and owners of Murray Motors Sales Winnipeg Limited Partnership. Annual rental value is $131,580. It is based on the premise area of 7,000 square feet and base ARV base rent of $16.45 per square foot. So yes, following pages is okay. Subject property pictures, aerial view and street view. Comparable sales. For comparable sales, I'm using 28 comparables. Have been presented to this panel before, however, not to a different applicant. So those are 28 retail comparables that the city of Winnipeg is using in this cycle to support rents for vehicle dealerships. And yeah, and that's all my evidence. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Questions?
Yes, the first question is whether you have either one, inspected this location, or two, have you spoken to anyone from this location to confirm exactly what is inside?
I did not. The answer is no to all points of your questions.
Okay. Okay. And I will leave it at that then. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Moransky?
So there is a lease on this one? Or no?
Yes, there is a lease. It's it came across a bit goofy, but it is my understanding it is a land lease only.
Land lease only?
And the land lease for that one is so they have monthly rent of 19,182 based on income and expense mailer.
So that's what that subject lease information is then? Second box on page 1?
Yeah, but it breaks it down into area per square foot. That's how computer does it, but it is a land rent based on $20,000, basically $19,000 a month, 19,182, or $230,000 a year.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Whitbread.
Madam Chair, at point 1 of the docket, I asked the assessor a number of questions because rent is the issue on pretty much all of these properties. Mr. Navarro was in the room. With his permission, if he heard those questions, may I just pass over and accept those questions as current? Mr. Navarro, would
Yes, I'm fine with that.
thank you very much. I have no questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Whitbread. I'm just going to ask one quick question. If looking on your page 3, what would you say is your best comparable?
Okay.
I'm looking at column 11 on 95.
Let's see. Well, it is like I was considering it as well a while back too because of the size and I mean it's the same street, right? So we have a Pembina street as well. Again, like to be honest with you, like it meets the criteria based on size and the same street. It's farther down Pembina and. So there's only 2 criteria that it meets, right? Size, and probably that's why it would be the best.
Okay.
Yeah. However, yeah, like there is probably again, like given the adjustments that you have to do, like it's probably not those are retail comps, anyways.
Okay, Mr. Darkanoff, what is taking place in that premise?
Well, to my understanding, it's a vehicle service. I mean, it's a vehicle dealership. It's a small building. I haven't been inside, so I can only use hypothetical things that it's probably just a small dealership. that's all.
I'm talking about comparable number 8.
Oh, I thought.
Taking place there.
Oh, I thought it was a subject. So 8, okay. Or 11, 8.
I'm looking at 8.
All right. So comparable number 8 is a Salvation Army thrift store.
Can you also confirm what's number 11?
That's part source.
Okay.
So as close probably to the vehicle service dealerships you will come within the comparable list here.
Okay, I thank you. That's all my questions.
Madam Chair, just may I interject?
Yes.
I'm a little bit confused now. Did I hear the assessor say number 11 is a vehicle service?
No, I said it's a part source.
Parts.
And part source. It's
Not
they sell
service.
auto parts, right? That's why I said like, as close as you can get to the vehicle dealerships.
I missed that part. Thank you. Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Navarro, if you would like to proceed.
Sure. This is 222 Pembina Highway. And so this building has been repurposed a few times. It is now being used by the Murray Auto Group as their truck center. And I believe there was an exchange of businesses at that time, and that's why there is a land lease in place. So I'm not sure that that lease actually represents anything that is at market for this location. So we disregarded any information pertaining to that lease. And we used a market approach. So the property is located close to the corner of Osborne and Pembina Highway as you approach Confusion Corner. It is just a little bit before that corner at Jesse Street and Pembina Highway. It's a small location, only 7,000 square feet, and they do offer sales, and the rear portion is vehicle detailing. So they just basically they clean vehicles there, either for preparation for sales or I don't know, new inventory coming in. I don't know exactly what the extent of the detailing is, but it's not a commercial detailing. It's basically internal. The land ratio, you can see the building to land ratio there. So I'll flip to page 4. So we took kind of a combined approach. So we tried to look for some vehicle uses in the vicinity. So the first two comparables that you see there at 5555 Pembina and 460 are both vehicle uses. I believe one is a Midas or something like that, and the other one may be a I'm not sure if it's a Fountain Tire or something like that, but they are vehicle use, and I'm not exactly sure about the exact name brand. 715 Pembina though is a used car dealership on the south side of Pembina. So it's an older building, obviously, 5,375 square feet, and there is a net lease there for $11.16. So we have an average there of 1576. And then we looked at other vehicle uses around the city, so other properties. And this would be a combination of different types of vehicle uses. It could be Boyd auto shops, that type of situation. And then we combine them to, we basically adjusted the rent to reflect, I mean, its location, its size. It does have a good lot on it, but in terms of the building itself, it's quite small, and it's not a full vehicle service dealership. It's their used car lot or used truck lot, and that's all it is. So we've put a value on the rent of $13.50. And on page 5, you can see our workup in terms of the premise area and the occupancy costs. So we have an ARV of 110,940 rounded, and a current ARV of 131,580 that's the current ARV. So we're recommending a reduction to the rounded amount that we've quoted there. And that is it. I'm open for questions.
Thank you. Mr. Darkanoff, questions?
Yeah, Mr. Navarro, have you been inside the subject property?
I haven't, but I spoke with the manager from the location.
Okay, and does it have like car? You did mention it, but I just wanna clarify. It does it have car sales area? Is that
Yeah, small car sales area, and so it's more of an office area, and also in the back it has detailing.
Okay.
So there is no servicing there. There are no lifts. There are nothing like that. There's no body shop. It's just detailing.
Okay, I see. And you don't know the ratio, right? Like whether it's like 30-70, 60-40, 50-50.
They actually said it's about 70% shop and 30% office.
Okay, no, those are all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Maratsky?
So, just to clarify, did you mention that did I hear you say that your comparables are vehicle related, all of them?
Yeah, and specifically 715 is an auto dealership, a small used car dealership, which I think compares well with the subject. And it has a net lease on it for $11.16 per square foot. So we think it's a good representation of what something would sell would rent for in this area for this particular type of use. So yes.
Do you know any more details on that property, 715 Pembina? What size is the building?
Yeah, the building that you can see there is actually 5375 square feet.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's a bit smaller. You can see the age there. And the wall heights, the land to building ratio, and the zoning are also on that chart. Added to this, to give you some history, I believe this was the client is a client of mine, Ben Haber. I believe they've run auto dealerships in the past. This was previously one of their locations, and now it's become a used car dealership. And typically, because this area of Pembina and in Pembina in general is not where the hubs are for auto uses. There are still some dealerships, but primarily used car dealerships. I believe the Volkswagen dealership and the Porsche dealership are still the last ones that are there that are actually new car sales. And again, most of them are moving to this auto mall model or along hubs. You'll find one on Regent, one on North McPhillips, and then there are the auto malls that are scattered throughout the city. So this is not typical for auto use anymore.
I don't have any picture of that one there, 715 Pembina. I guess
I don't. No, I didn't.
Okay. How similar would it be to the subject property then? That one.
Thank you.
The trim and stuff like that inside of the building.
Sorry, what was your question?
Yeah. So, how similar is it to the Murray Chrysler Dodge Ram dealership that used auto building? Is it?
Well, I can't speak to the Murray location, the subject property, because as I said previously, I had spoken to the manager about the location and what was going on there. I hadn't had time to inspect. The one comparable, 715 Pembina Highway, though I have been in that location.
Yeah, that's the one I was asking about. No, I wasn't asking about the subject. I asked if you knew anything about that.
Yeah, that one has a small office area where sales occur, and it has some servicing bays and it also has some detailing bays, and then it has the lot. So in terms of use, it's a little bit more complete than the subject.
Okay, no further questions, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Whitbread.
I have none, thank you.
Mr. Navarro, I just have one quick question. It might be in your brief, I just don't see it. Age of this building?
No, it is not. No, I omitted that. I don't know the age of this building. Mr. Assessor, you may have that information at hand. Correct?
I am getting to it. Just a second. I'm okay. Let's see.
Mr. Darkanoff?
Yes, 1977.
Thank you.
I find that every time I ask a question, the computer tends to work slower.
Of course. Sure, Darkanoff, I'm just going to redirect to you also. Did you have a chance to inspect this property?
No, I did not.
I have no further questions. Does either party have a wish for a summation?
I don't.
I'm okay too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you both.
All right, so
We will proceed to 300 Pembina Highway. Mr. Darkanoff, whenever you're ready to proceed.
So, file number 224578. Applicant Altus Group Limited. Roll year 2023. Address 300 Pembina Highway. Business assessment ID 53587. Business name Murray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And owners are Murray Motors Sales Winnipeg Limited Partnership. Again, what we have is the annual rental value of $535,380,000. I ask the board to confirm it. The annual rental value is based on premise area 34,452 square feet and base rent per square foot of $13.38 per square foot. Then subject page 2 are the pictures of the subject property. Then we have page 3 are comparable evidence presented. Again, same comparable evidence that has been presented before. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
You, Mr. Navarro, reference?
Yes. Was this appealed was the realty appealed?
I don't think it has. Let me just double check to make sure.
Not by us.
I don't think this has been appealed, but give me 1 second just to give you an exact answer. So no, it has not been appealed.
Okay. Thank you. And regarding your comparables, these are scattered throughout the city. These are primarily retail leases, and they are, based on my observation, in some of the retail hubs in the city, correct? You have Sterling Lion, which is, you could call it Winnipeg's newest retail hub, correct?
Correct. Yes. So Polo Park, Sterling Lion.
Right.
Some of them are like outside of it, but yeah, a lot of them are within the hubs. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Maratsky
I have no questions. Thank you.
and Mr. Whitbread.
Asked and answered earlier.
I have no questions. If you would like to proceed, if you brief, Mr. Navarro.
Sure. So this is 300 Pembina Highway, and we have 34,452 square feet of leasable area. You can see the size of the lot there, the building ratio on page 2. You can see that this property was constructed in different stages, starting with 1963 and ending in 1999. You can see on page 4 that we've taken a similar approach as the assessor, except that we've tried to concentrate on Pembina Highway. So these locations that you see here are larger retail locations along Pembina Highway. Number 2 would be a PV Mart. Number 4 would be the McMunn and Yates on the corner of Grant. Is it Grant and Pembina? Close to that, I believe. And again, larger retail locations. And we have also concentrated some on in the St. James area, Narran and Kenaston. In terms of the rental rate that we've looked at, this is a larger location. However, we will acknowledge that it is a full service dealership, whereas our previous example was not a full service dealership. So in that example, we treated it very much like a normal retail / industrial building where you could have many intended uses. In this location, it is a dealership, and at 34,452 square feet, it's getting up there in size. So we've put a rent on it of $12.80. That typically lines up with our average and our median. In terms of our workup, you can see it on page 5, and our occupancy costs. So we're asking for $515,400. The current ARV is $535,380. I will also again mention that this was not appealed in the realty, so this is effectively a new appeal. And I'm open for questions.
Thank you. Mr. Dartmouth, question?
No, just I guess actually no, I don't have any questions. Thanks.
Right, Mr. Maratsky?
Yes, so you changed your comparables mostly because of the size and the scope of service in this particular subject property as opposed to the previous one. Is that correct?
Yeah. I think with the previous one, it's a smaller property, so the rate goes up because of the smaller size. Then the location bears into that, and also the functionality of the property itself. So it brings the rent down. So there's different reasons why we adjust the rents the way they are. In this one, yes, we've taken from a sample of larger locations and applied a rent corresponding with that. Again, the argument can be made that we're not really adjusting downward for the portions that are, for example, the garage, body shop, those areas. And these are straight retail leases. So I think we are being quite fair in our analysis of this. And also in terms of location, what we mentioned before applies to this one as well. this is not the area for cars anymore. I know that these locations still exist and there is some brand loyalty there. People still go there and shop. But most car dealerships are moving away from these areas and going to areas where there are car hubs, the Regent Avenue, the North McPhillips, and the auto malls. So I don't think that this area would necessarily have a higher rent because of the location. It would have a more lower rent. So.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Whitbread.
I have none, thank you.
Thank you. I just have a couple. You gave a range of age for this building, 63 to 99.
Yes.
Do you know the portion that was the earlier builds, say 63?
So I believe there is a back portion to this property. So that would be an older side of it. And the front facing parts that are facing Pembina Highway are the newer parts. So the retail areas would be the newer parts. The garage areas would be the older parts.
Great. I'm sorry, I believe you named what your comparables were.
I named two of them. So I'll explain the reason, just give you some background on this if you guys, or if the panel is curious, just why sometimes we leave the numbers out of there. So we have some clients that unfortunately do not like their information being published. And the only way that we can use it is to leave the numbers out of it. But they are verified leases that we've looked at. In two examples, I've identified the properties verbally. One is a PV Mart, the other one is a McMahon and Yates, which is just down the street from this property.
Sorry, Mr. Navarro, if I can just interrupt, and I'm sorry, that is what I missed. Which was the PV Mart?
Okay, so the PV Mart is index 2.
Thank you.
And the McMahon and Yates is index 4.
Right. And the others, you're
for example,
which
yeah,
is fine.
I don't know, but for example, number 1 is in the same location as the PV Mart,
Right.
same area. Number 3, I could not tell you, but it is a large retail location, probably in the neighborhood of the University of Manitoba, south of that. So there are those retail areas along there. If you know something about the north part of Pembina, north of Grant, there really aren't very many large retail locations other than our car dealership that we are looking here, and maybe the McMahon and Yates. That's about it.
Right. And this is more of a curiosity question. So this was not appealed at the realty side, correct?
Correct.
And the
You want
reason?
the reason? Yes. If you're curious.
Yes.
So there was a transition of the business ownership, and I believe at the time we didn't have control of it. So we do now, and it will likely be appealed as well for the following year on the realty for 2024.
All right, I thank you. That is all the questions. Does either party have a wish for a summation?
I'm okay, thank you.
Navarro?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. Move on to 660 Pembina Highway. Mr. Darkinoff, the floor is yours.
660, right? Okay, I grabbed the wrong file. So file number 224731, applicant Autos Group Limited, roll year 2023, address 660 Pembina Highway, business assessment ID 24184 Auto House Collision Center, owners Auto House Fort Garry 1981 Limited. So what we have here is 3 premises with total annual rental value of $477,000. We have 3 premises consist of 18,765 square feet premise at $15.88 per square foot, 5,373 square foot premise at $11.26 per square foot, and 2,862 square feet premise at $19.63 per square foot. Total premise area altogether 27,000 square feet. See, so I guess I asked the panel to confirm the annual rental value of $477,000.
Are you finished, Mr. Darkanoff?
No, sorry. Just wanted to make sure. So it doesn't say that it is. It says that it's not owner occupied. However, so the rent in place reported as a land rent. I don't think it came across on the subject this information here. But, so we're gonna stick with I guess rents per square foot and market rents. So page 2 is a street view of subject property. So it's Auto House Volkswagen dealership as well as a Porsche dealership. Comparable page 3. All of the comparables that have been presented before. 28 comparables, same comparables, and that's all I have for my part. Open to your questions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Navarro.
I believe this is just the same information you produced for the other properties, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Moratsky? I believe you're muted, Mr. Moratsky.
My apologies. I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Whitbread?
Just a bit of a clarification, if I could. The business name is Auto House Collision Center, but are you telling us, sir, that this is also a dealership, a service center? It's a full-scale automobile dealership for Porsche and Volkswagen?
Correct.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
Thank you. My questions have been asked and answered. Mr. Navarro, if you would like to proceed.
Okay, so I'm just going to clarify the ownership of this. So they are under the umbrella of Go Auto Direct Manitoba, which owns several dealerships throughout the city. So the 2 properties here would be VW Auto House or Auto House Volkswagen. There would be the Porsche dealership, and I believe they also have the new Porsche dealership on Sterling Lion. So if you've gone past Kenniston, past the underpass, and noticed a new dealership there is a new Porsche dealership there as well, which they are associated with under the Go Auto Direct Manitoba label. Of course, it's branded as Porsche. So you can see that this building on property on page 2 was built in different stages as well. And again, this goes back to my initial argument of this location really not being the hub of auto sales that it may have been at one time. So it started out in 1971 and then went through different stages of construction in 2004, 2005, and 2013. We don't disagree with the total square footage that the assessor is proposing in general, but there is just a small difference. And You'll notice that we went with ours of 26,998. Again, you see that there are 2.29 acres. You have the land to building ratio there. And you have the general location also. You can see there, corner of Grant Avenue and Pembina Highway. The gray areas that you have beside, if you've ever sat in these locations, you'll know that this is the main CN line. So it is constantly being used, and it shakes the ground, and you can feel it all the time. So on page 4, you can see that we took a similar approach as we did with the previous example for 300 Pembina Highway. Similar, actually, it's the same comparables. In this situation, what we've done is we've broken up the different areas. So we've got a rent assigned to the main, the mezzanine, the main portia, and the mezzanine portia. So we've come out to a rent of $13.40. Again, this one is smaller than the previous example, and the rent is higher. So that is how that issue is rationalized. It is an economies of scale issue. So the smaller size produces a slightly higher rent. But in general, we use the same comparables as the previous example. In terms of the workup, you can see it on page 5. The current ARV is 477, and we are asking for a rent value of 429,240. In this one also, there is a similar case of businesses changing hands. So this was not, the realty was not appealed in this case. It will be though, so watch out in 2024. And that is my case. I'm open for questions now.
Thank you. Mr. Darkanoff, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Radsky.
I have no questions, thank you.
And Mr. Whitbread.
I have none, thank you.
Okay, so just looking on your brief page, sorry, I'm trying to get to the page 2. The majority, I'm going to say, of this building was built in 71, correct?
Correct.
And did you have a chance to inspect this property?
Not this cycle, but I have been in this location, the entire property in previous cycles. So I'm familiar with the entire property.
Okay. And when was that?
It would have been 2019. Yeah.
Can you speak to the general condition of the building?
Well, the Porsche dealership is newer. It's in good condition. And it would be similar to the retail portion of the 300 that we looked at. It's not as extravagant as what you would see on Sterling Lion in their new dealership. And the VW dealership, it's well maintained. It's an older building, but I mean, it's had renovations over the years, so it's in good condition. I'm not saying that either one of these is in bad condition. They're both in good condition.
And just to confirm it, it's full service.
Yes, yes.
I thank you. That's all my questions. Does either party have a wish for a summation?
I'm okay, thank you.
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
Right. We'll move on to item number 9 on the docket, the last item on the docket, which is 680 Pembina Highway.
Yeah, and I believe based on the evidence presented by the applicant, they are also seeking confirmation. Is that correct, Mr. Navarro?
That's correct.
Okay. So I'll just file number 224610, applicant Altos Group Limited, roll year 2023, address 680 Pembina Highway, business assessment ID is 32343. Business name Fort Rouge Auto Center, and the owners are FTJL Holdings Inc. Total annual ARV is $454,920, and I asked the panel to confirm the annual rental value. And the following pages provide the evidence presented comparables, subject property, aerial view, as well as board of revision order. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Mr. Navarro?
I have no questions.
Thank you. And you are confirming?
I am. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Moretsky, any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
And Mr. Whitbread?
I have none, thank you.
I also have no questions. And that concludes our docket for this afternoon. And I thank you, Mr. Darkanoff and Mr. Navarro, for your time and briefs today.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
gentlemen.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye now.